All right, so today we're going to show you an Okamoto. This is an 820 DX. It's a hydraulic machine. It's currently wired for 220 volts, 3-phase. It's a 3-axis automatic. Actually, you can even work with the machine by hand. It has a pretty nice feel to it. Cross slide is like butter. They really make these machines well. And you have a digital readout showing you the x-axis, and I guess if you wanted, you could actually, in manual, feed this thing down. So maybe you don't even have to turn on the hydraulics, but I'm going to turn them on anyway. So that's the hydraulics. I'm going to start the grinding wheel spindle. That's the spindle. All right, so all your hydraulic controls are below. You've got your table speed here. And then to start the table, you give it a pulse. To set the speed, we do it here. Cross slide, you want to pull the hand wheel out. It's got a safety. And to engage the stepping feed, we go there. And we feed. Now the amount that steps each time is controlled by the knob down here. The more you turn that counterclockwise, the bigger that step becomes. You also have the possibility of stopping the cross slide and going into a continuous motion. So this is continuously moving back and forth until the end of the program. Okay, so we'll move this back here. You've got your chuck control here. Turn it off, turn it to the left, and it'll flash. That's the demag cycle. Let's take the part off. This is a fine pole, fine division chuck with the lines running horizontally. That turns it on. Turn this all the way to 10, then it's on full power. Hydraulics on, spindle on, coolant on. Rapid up and down, rapid movement. Go over here to the rapid symbol, and you could rapid the head up or rapid the head down. You also have the manual pulse generator. You could reset this number to 0 when you're in manual anytime you want. And this is broken up into 10 millionths, a tenth, and a thousandth. So it's pretty fine. If you want to come off, that's how you would touch your part off. And at that point, you would put the amount that you need to still remove, from how much to get down to 0, 5,000, 7,000, 6,000, whatever, or any number in between. You can just, in the edit mode, you put that value that you need to take off, and that's what it'll do. It'll work from there down to 0. It's got 2 cycles, or two feed rates, a coarse and a fine. And at a point where it goes from the coarse to the fine. So you have a changeover point that you have to put one of these dials on. I usually keep it at a tenth or maybe even 5/10. And then you have a coarse feed. I usually, for a demo, put it at 1,000ths, and then this at maybe 5/10. Of course, if you don't want to use the fine feed, you don't have to use it. You can just come all the way down to final size, just using a tenth or 2/10, or as fine as really as you want. The second feed really comes into play when you bring in this dresser, that if you notice this has a dresser mounted above the wheel there. We're not going to really get into that in this video because it's kind of complicated. You have to go through the book. But know that you can program the amount of material you're going to take off the wheel and the amount of compensation. You can program so that it dresses in between your coarse feed and your fine feed, or after so many parts. So that's a pretty nice feature. Of course, if you don't want to use any of that, you don't have to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little program in here, and say we're going to do, it's got 2 different modes, 3 different modes. It's got surface grinding, where we're moving in and out with the saddle, and it's got slot grinding, or plunge. And you can plunge on both sides of the workpiece, or you can select the plunge only on the one side. So in these modes, you're not using the cross slide. So if I start up my table here, I'm still in the edit mode from putting in my 10,000ths. Now I simply switch over to automatic mode, and we start to come down here the 1,000ths at each pass. Now when I got down to 1,000ths, we went to a finer feed only 2 times and it's done. That's the spark out. So right now the program is gone, and you have to check your parts and adjust whatever and redo this each time you put a new part on the magnet. It doesn't retain the program. That's why I say it's semi, programmable downfeed. Yes, you program it. It's very simple. Have a CROSSFEED readout, a Sony CROSSFEED here on the saddle. And I think I covered everything. Show you that one more time. I'll just show you with the CROSSFEED. So you got to go back into edit. I'll put like 4,000ths this time and start the table. And now we have the CROSSFEED. And as soon as I flip this switch down into the automatic, it's going to start to feed at each reversal. So we're going to go here from 4 to 3. And right now it's running with the saddle moving continuously. It never stops. Some people grind like that. Or you can do it this way, where you have your step at each reversal. This is more conventional. There's no right way or wrong way. It's just, it can do both ways. So that's it. That's the Okamoto 820 DXV. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.